You found us. What about this idea?
Gotta listen to this show. Why?
Because it's about the hearts and minds of entrepreneurs.
Oh, nailed it.
I didn't even look at the wall.
Nailed it.
I didn't even look at the
All
wall.
right, listen, honestly, this is a show. It's different than other shows about entrepreneurship.
It's real. It's real. Real stories.
Is it?
We tend to talk very real.
I love
And
it.
so do our guests. So come have fun with us. Welcome to the show.
Thank
Welcome.
Again, we talk. We started
Thank
the
you.
show wondering how to say and where entrepreneurship came from.
Oh,
Sam
it's
did
riveting.
his research with one single French man,
I mean,
and
And
he
he
said
told them
it's
all
French.
about it.
but
Yeah.
he's deeply French.
He's deeply French.
I mean, it's not
He's
like
severely French.
yeah,
I can think of
cripplingly French.
I can think of a few Americans that wouldn't know how to spell apple.
Yeah.
Oh well, yeah.
There's quite a few.
Probably 30% of the population.
Not
Sorry,
a lot of critical thinking going
None
on.
of you entrepreneurs out there.
in everybody's defense, you know when you like write a word out and then you look at it,
Yeah.
and it's not something you actually look at or
Oh, yeah,
write
and you're
out,
like,
and
it's
you're like,
so
that
weird.
is spelled wrong. Apple is spelled wrong.
Yeah.
There's something wrong there.
There's a lot of words. I
There's a
feel
lot of words that
There's
are
a lot
like
of
that.
words.
Couch. There was another one the other day. Anyway.
The English language is.
I just
kinda silly.
throw most of the letters from entrepreneurship because I write it all the time now. So I'm typing it and I just throw most of the letters in there and the thing is like, yeah, I knew what you were going for. Yeah.
I know what
we
you're
see
going
where
for.
you're going with this.
Yeah. Because I can't remember whether the U is first or the E is first.
Entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
I've always had this thing, I don't know if I've talked about this before, that the thing I'm doing the most in the moment, I spell the word wrong. So like when I was a business major, this all started years and years ago. I was a business major. I couldn't for the life of me spell business properly.
Busyness.
I could not spell business properly. And then I was trying to spell entrepreneurship because we're talking to entrepreneurs. Couldn't spell that. Couldn't spell.
That one's trickier. That's
Yeah.
like a. That's
It's
like a.
very French.
Yeah, it's like a 6th grade spelling bee.
Oh,
like
yeah.
killer. Like
Yeah.
everyone's like, oh god, I don't know.
Well, that's what knocked me out. I got knocked out of the spelling bee in like 5th or 6th
5th grade, I did too. But it was me and one other person, and I made it to the last word,
Oh, no.
and I misspelled the last word.
What was it?
I don't remember.
No.
Uncanny.
Oh, no way.
It's uncanny that I spelled that incorrectly because
Did you use one N?
I don't remember, but I do remember being like seeing it afterwards and being like, how the F did I misspell
I know,
that? Because
I
I
was
had
like-
many difficult words before then.
Yeah, that's not even that
And the
hard.
person who won
Yeah.
was like the most obnoxious girl in the school
Oh,
too.
of
Like
course.
she was like, I know how to spell it. You're like, oh. I think she went to prison.
Was she French?
So anyways,
Was she French?
I think she's a nurse.
I think she's French.
I think she's a dental hygienist.
She cleans people's teeth.
That's right.
So
So it's spelling words while she's cleaning teeth. Just
I hate her.
spelling
I
them all.
still hate
I
her.
hate her, Becca, wherever you're at. I don't think that was her
She's
name.
watching this, of course.
Obviously, everybody
Yeah.
is.
Obviously.
Everybody's watching this.
I remember I got knocked out in like the second round for spelling like dog. You know?
It was like a
I was
simple
like,
word.
oh my God. Because I had all these,
D-A-W-G.
yeah, I had all these holes.
D-A-W-G.
I was ahead of my time.
How Snoop told
You know?
me to spell it.
Well, what do we do now? Because there's so many slang words now that they've put in the dictionary. You know, like dog.
It doesn't make any dog.
Dog.
You really went all out on that one.
Oh,
You
geez.
pronounced it like my French friend does.
Well, like my kids do.
Entrepreneur.
Like they use words that I don't really understand. Maybe you would know them.
No,
like
I don't.
sus and
My child comes home and I have a 15-year-old child and she says, you know, she'll
Yeah.
I'm like,
She does
I don't.
that shit to
That's
you?
how I know I've officially reached old age. Is that I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, what did you just say?
What are you even talking about? And the music is terrible. You're like, what is this?
I know.
Switch it back to like 80s and you're like, oh, fine, this is
Yes,
great. But like
agreed.
all the music is terrible. The language makes no sense.
I put it on the 80s, like 107.9 or whatever, like way up there on the old
Yeah.
dial. And it's all,
Where
It's
old people reside.
Yeah, but it used to be like
true.
from the 50s and 60s.
Yeah.
Now it's like
Now it's 90s
our
because
music.
that was 30 years ago.
80s and 90s.
Crippling.
Right?
Crippling
It made me
realization.
depressed.
I know. We're
Like
on
the
the
80s
top
is
of the
40
radio
What's happening?
stations.
At the top of the radio.
But we're not
It-
even, listen, you're old just by saying you listen to the radio, okay?
Oh, that's true.
So,
That's true. But it wasn't so much me feeling old, it was that it made me depressed. Like, I don't...
Just to realize that those were the oldies
I
station.
don't know if it
or-
was that. I just, like, maybe I don't want to go back in time like that or something.
Oh, I do. Yeah,
Do you?
I very much.
Yeah.
Simpler times, you know,
Yeah.
and back in the 80s.
if we could just be the 80s all the time.
Yeah.
It was.
That's
when the hair
perfect.
was great.
Hair was great.
What do you mean the hair was great? Your hair's great now.
Well, yeah, mine is, but
Oh, you mean
yeah,
everyone
well,
else's?
mine-
well, mine's great because I don't have any. Can't mess it up if you don't have any.
No.
So true. I like it. We didn't even introduce our guest.
Ah, it's just total entrepreneurship show.
We don't,
This is what this is.
we don't need to discuss
Okay.
it. We don't need to talk about what I do.
I'm gonna say we do have one of my favorite entrepreneurs from, business owners from town here, and favorite for a reason. Like, we don't know each other that well, but Andrea has no problem saying what she thinks.
It's both a gift and a curse.
Yeah. So, you know, when you talk to people and they're all guarded and they don't want to actually say what they're thinking.
Well, usually, we have had some guests on the show where we've had to sort of,
Coax it out.
like,
Yeah, I mean, most everybody's
I vomit it out.
You don't have to coax nothing.
There's no coaxing. I'm like,
Yeah, she's got her finger down her throat already.
Excellent, excellent. I don't know if I'd be a good coaxer today. I'm having one of them.
That's
It was
good.
a rough day for you.
Yeah, it was a weird day.
Yeah, let's
Yeah.
talk about what happened with you. I've been
Let's go
waiting
into it.
on razor's edge here, waiting to hear about your day.
Oh my gosh, my day. It's funny. I've had, as Sam knows, I've had 2 weeks of constant something, and
Like constant bad things or like something happening?
just
or...
a whole mix of bad, good, crazy
Stuff popping off.
Yeah, just like my mom is in the hospital. My sister does like all this stuff, right?
Yeah.
And
the sisters.
and not to mention, like, I have 2 businesses that I'm a part of.
You're busy.
Yeah, so I'm a part of a group that I'm not going to say the name of.
Sure.
That is helps you with being an entrepreneur, growing and
Yeah.
scaling, and all those things we want to do. And I came there to talk about needing some help with sales, right? And
That's what you brought with you today.
I brought
was,
with me, like,
boy, I could use a little help.
Everybody
Yeah.
says how great I am, and they want to be like me, and they love my business, and they love my value proposition, and that makes me feel really great. But I don't have a client in the pipeline right now,
Right.
and that's typical for my business.
Sure.
But I still wanted to bring that to my little group that's supposed to support me.
Well, because you're supposed to be able to go to them and
That's
say,
sort of the point.
I don't feel great today about this thing that's bothering me,
And then
right?
you get some nice encouraging words.
You're supposed to.
Tons, right?
Yeah. But
This
what
is-
I got was, well, you just hoping you get clients? That was my feedback today.
I mean, yes.
And I'm like,
Yes,
do
I am. And also, what are you bitches here for? Help me out. Give me some thoughts. Do you have nothing to draw from?
They kept walking toward, well, how much cash do you have? And I told them how much cash I have. And then they said, well, then are you going to close the business? And I'm like, no, I want
What
to talk
is
about
wrong with you?
sales.
What is wrong with y'all?
She
What are
gets
you
it right
here
away.
for?
What? And I'm like, I just was like,
This was a dude.
do I draw this in? Is
can't
it
even.
me? Am I just like, could I have shifted it? I'm pretty good about shifting a room, like just ignoring the stupid thing someone said.
What did you
and,
do
like,
to shift the room at that point? Because I would have taken my earrings off.
I didn't. I didn't even try. Because the last couple of weeks, I had no energy to be creative on
Sure.
shifting the room. And so I said, that was rude.
Good.
I figured you'd like that.
Yeah, totally.
You're a bitch.
That was rude.
Hate you.
You should bring her along.
I know, right?
I always say, like, I'm available to hire for, like, family gatherings. Like, if you want to bring me to Thanksgiving and I'll tell your Aunt Donna she's a bitch. Everyone hates you, Aunt Donna. You'd be like, I'm sorry, Andrea's an alcoholic. Or,
I mean, she hasn't had a drop. Yeah.
she has Tourette's. Ignore her.
It could be that I brought Andrea my alter ego.
Yeah.
So things that I probably shouldn't say in this group, Andrea's going to say for me.
Yep.
Why are we always holding back from saying what maybe we should say?
I think that we lose a lot of things in life or cause ourselves a lot of problems by not just being totally honest with how you feel. And you don't necessarily have to say things in a mean way, but I think we would all get a little further if we were just like, no, here's what's what. Because I think...
Yeah, but you would be from not the upper Midwest then if you were doing that.
Well...
And you're not. I know
I'm
that.
not. But also, like, I've had times in my business where I didn't necessarily say what I wanted to say, and it always bit me in the ass.
Oh, yeah.
Always.
Yeah, I agree. I think that I can be rough on the edges, but I think I'm judged differently than a dude, right? And
100%.
so if a dude is like...
If it comes from a guy, then it's like,
Yeah,
oh,
it's
this
like,
is just
oh.
what it is. But if it comes from a woman, you're a bitch.
He's driven,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
he's, he's super optimistic. He's got a great business.
Yeah.
Like he's, for me, it's like I'm being sensitive or,
Right.
or I'm...
Irrational or
Yeah, or I'm
bitchy.
irrational. Like I should really be thinking about closing my business. I'm like, oh my God.
That was a really ignorant thing for that person
And also
to
just
say.
like
you're not fresh in business.
No,
you
I'm
know?
not.
And you're a fighter. Like you're gonna get through this.
I mean, they were
Figure it out.
literally talking about, like, they're going to love it if they listen to this, but they were literally
shame on
talking
you.
about...
Shame on you. Whoever you are, shame on
They're
you.
like, what can you hustle up
what can you
to get some cash in the door? And I'm like, I'm not going to hustle up anything. I'm going to
well, I started an OnlyFans. I'm selling
go
feet
do a
pictures
keynote or, fill some lesser tech positions. And I'm like,
So here's the thing that I want
no.
to say to that too is like I also think with the man versus woman split, like as a woman, is this a group of women for the most part, or is
there's
this like
no
a
women.
mix?
There's no women.
It's all men?
It's all men.
All right,
yeah.
cancel my comment. Because what I was going to say is, like, I don't think that a lot of men would take their problem to a group and say, hey, I'm having a hard time doing this, because then that would be, like, acknowledging. And I think that a lot of, like, male entrepreneurs probably don't go out of their way to acknowledge to peers if they feel like they're failing.
It's funny because it is
just
kind
from
of
the male entrepreneurs that I know, you know
right.
what I mean?
Agreed. They usually just present their current situation.
Yeah.
And like hopefully you'll pick up they're struggling with something.
Right, without you specifically saying. But I think that's interesting that, I mean, I guess it depends on the level of entrepreneurship you're at, because if you own a lot of like franchises or something, you're very used to the oh, we just have to close this one because it's not profitable, and it's like, it's not that big of a hit.
Right.
You know what I mean? But like if you only have one or two businesses, then acknowledging that you have like, oh, I have this money issue going on, then it's like just kind of, it feels like more of a wallop, so it's not helpful.
So it wasn't
No, I haven't thought about closing. I was kind of hoping you guys would have some thoughts that you
and
could
it was hoping,
throw
God
out.
damn it, you agreed with me. I did. I said I thought we'd talk about sales.
Yeah.
And not how I'm gonna.
Well,
what
at least
I'm
you
gonna
said
do
that was
when
rude.
I run out of cash. I'm like, I'm going to run out of cash.
No, I'm going to make something happen.
Yeah.
I was just sort of hoping that you might have some irons to throw in the fire here.
Like I'm not doing. I even at one point I'm like, it just got so ridiculous. As I say, I went, I'm not doing any of that shit.
I love that for you.
About.
Anyway,
sales. It's funny because one of our mutual friends was talking about his problems with sales at the party the other night, and everything he was describing, it's like people are waiting for some old tactic from some book that they read to work, and he's like, I'm playing the game and it's not working, and my thinking was like, you gotta bust the game to pieces and do something
changed.
different.
Yeah.
Like don't look for everyone to give you the same advice that everyone always gives about this thing. Like, figure something else out. Go talk to people.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly. Right.
And also just keep trying new things too. And like, it's better for you to try 5 new things and have 4 of them fail, because by the time, the other people have just been trying the same old thing and failing every time. It's like, just keep trying new things and something will stick eventually,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Try and fail and try and fail and try and fail. Just keep going.
Yeah. I don't know that I fit so neatly into the classic male
No, you don't really.
category. I've always hung out with women more than men generally, and like the stuff you were saying about male entrepreneurs, I'm like,
No,
no,
I have
I'm
no
broken.
problem.
I'm broken. Everything's
Right.
broken.
We are definitely not talking about you, and there's a lot of men that are like you, right?
Yeah,
yeah.
There's a lot of men.
I think that's
that are
fair
like
to
you.
acknowledge. And there are
Yeah,
women. There are
absolutely.
women on both ends of that spectrum too. of
100%.
course, you know. So.
Do you see a question about that? Do you see, Sam, dudes change in a room if a woman ends up in it? So is the conversation different? What are you guys talking about when we're not there?
Well, okay, so in
Is it all sports and
no, but see that's the thing. In so many ways, I'm not like a dude's dude.
Yeah.
Right. So I don't have a big.
You know dudes.
Do I though?
Dudes.
I mean, the bowling league, maybe that seems like
No.
dudes. No?
No, I'm pretty sensitive. My team, seriously. Yeah.
So cute.
You guys get together and like hug before the
Of
match.
course.
Like, oh,
Yeah, totally.
love
Very
that.
supportive, very
I love
sensitive.
that.
I'm
That's
rooting
cute.
for you.
Oh, for sure, for everyone.
Good strike, buddy.
Yes,
Yeah,
all
that's
of that.
nice. That's so great.
No, you're right. There are leagues where there are teams in our league that are dudes, and they're over there like chest bumping and
Yeah.
fucking where to go.
They're having a good time.
They're having a great time.
And we do, women do the same sort of thing. Like I can't stand being deep. You mean you must be in conversations all the time?
I have lots of.
Oh my God, all day,
I
every
just
day.
I had a new. I don't get to see new clients a lot anymore because I've been doing nails for so long that my clients that have been seeing me, they've been seeing me
You're
forever.
booked up.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but occasionally someone like will message me if they're a bride and they're like, "Oh, will you do my nails for my wedding? I've been following you," and I'm like, "Fuck yeah!" Like every time,
Yeah.
like, I get excited because number one, they're trusting you to do their wedding nails, which
Yeah.
is kind of a big deal. But this lady sat down and she's like, "Oh my God, I'm so excited to finally meet you. This is so fun. What should we talk about?" And I was like, "Tell me about your family trauma." It was like a 2.5 hour appointment of just us being like, "And our moms are terrible." I love those conversations. I'm like, don't bother keeping it on the surface. Let's talk about why you're fucked up.
Do you
Let's talk
ever?
about why you are the way you are.
And maybe it's your clientele. I mean,
Yeah.
you probably attract the kind of clientele that can handle that.
Well, first of all, I can't tell you how many times I'm in public and someone will be like telling me some dramatic thing. They're like, "I don't know why I'm telling you this." And I'm like, "I don't know either. I guess I just have one of those faces, like, just tell me.
It happens to me too.
It's true. I feel like I could tell you anything.
Yeah, I'm not.
I just did.
You told me.
There's more you could tell her.
I know, that's
But,
true.
There's
we
plenty,
We
and
could have really gotten out of that.
The thing, like, I feel like my job, because especially as we're holding hands, like, there's a touching element. There's like, it's personal, and it automatically makes people feel comfortable, and and I really don't have any judgments. I've had people tell me the craziest shit, and I'm like, "Wow, that's crazy." Cool. What do you want? What color do you want? It's not. I've heard
I'm
it
from
all.
Florida.
I literally have done worse. I've done worse in the last 3 days. It's not. I have no judgment. Yeah.
You'll
so
get used to the consequences.
It's
No
You'll
problem.
be fine.
Yeah,
Get some penicillin. I'm
You'll
just
be
kidding.
fine.
Take some penicillin.
Yeah. No. Yeah. I just feel like it's the job. It's the kind of the job where everyone. Yeah. Kind of. You're like a therapist.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
I mean, so yeah, you do own Nail Ninja.
I own Nail Ninja.
Did we even?
Yeah, we didn't even talk about it.
I don't
No,
even-
I am the owner of Nail Ninja. Yes. So we're a nail salon that focuses on high-end nail art
Yeah, right,
and
enough about that.
dry manicures and pedicures.
Just teasing.
Enough about you. Anyway.
No, jeez.
I'm just kidding. We brought you in here. Nah, we don't want to hear about that shit.
But, yeah. Let's talk more about penicillin.
Penicillin. Are we drinking? We should be drinking. This is obviously.
I mean, I feel like
we
we're
don't
all
really need
hungover
to.
on shitty days or something. Like
had a great
it messes
day.
with you when you have a bad day like
It
that.
does.
It makes you a little punchy.
It did. I am punchy. It
does.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Should we start
I
a
hope it
fight
does-
with somebody?
I feel like, should we call someone else?
Let's call up someone from your group. Let's call up someone from your group and tell him we saw his wife at dinner with someone else. Let's start some shit.
The entrepreneurial rumble.
Yeah.
Like, let's go beat the shit out of some people. Entrepreneur style.
I'm ready.
Let's do it.
Can you see the three of us, the gangs coming in?
Everyone's like, not scary.
kick
Well,
the
she's a
shit
little
out of
scary.
you.
That little
Yeah.
one.
Keep your eye on the little one.
The little one sort
It's
of
always the
terrifies
little one.
me.
We all have Napoleon complexes, so should watch out. I like to stir some
That
shit
guy's
up.
way too sensitive. He's not going to hurt
That guy
me.
looks like he's on a bowling league, if you know what I mean.
What inspired you to open up a nail salon?
Okay.
Here we go.
No, it's good. It's
Okay.
So I worked in someone else's salon for 13 years.
Okay.
And I started Nail Ninja just as a suite, actually, to be by myself.
Right.
Because I was like, man, I'm just tired of people, and they're crazy. Working amongst all women is kind of insane. I'm just gonna go be in like 100 square feet by myself.
Right.
And then someone came to me and asked me if I would train them, and I was like, again, I had 13 years of experience, but I was just an employee, and I was like, I don't know how to train anybody. Like, I just said no. Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. You just fucking file their nails. What do you want from me?
Fucking watch
Just
some
fucking do
YouTube.
it, yeah.
Get your shit together and watch some YouTube.
Well,
You'll figure it out.
she came to me a couple of times, and finally I was like, okay, sure, I'll give it a go. And she basically just sat there with me while I worked, and I started telling her how I was doing everything and why I was doing it. And then someone else came to me for training, and at a certain point I had like 4 people working in my 100 square foot space, and I was like, maybe I should start a storefront. Actually,
Maybe I should get a 200 square foot place.
I got
put
a
8 people in it.
1,700
Okay.
square foot space, and so I opened Nail Ninja in St. Louis Park in 2019, like right before the pandemic, and
Nothing
then
terrifying about that.
it was kind of a wild little journey. So we had to close for 3 months.
Yeah.
We made like gel nail removal kits and manicure and pedicure kits that we sold while the pandemic was going
Oh, I
on.
love that. Great idea.
Yeah, and we also like collected donations from just our audience, and we made kits and donated them to healthcare workers and things like that. And that really kept us afloat.
Yeah.
And
That's creative. Not a
Yeah.
lot of people could pivot during that time.
yeah, I don't really have like a give up bone in my body, so I was like, I will figure out a way to like
Right.
make this happen, and we
Exactly
did.
what I was saying today. I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
You got to pivot. I don't know what to pivot.
Closing. Okay.
So we were there for two years, and we went from having 5 employees to having like 15 in that amount of time. And so then I was like, well, shit, I guess I have to find another space.
Spot, yeah.
And then we opened Northeast Minneapolis in 2022.
Have you been to either of these places?
No.
Yeah.
They're
Look
beautiful.
at me.
They're really beautiful. They're really,
beautiful.
really cool buildings,
They're
really
very cool.
nicely done.
I'm going to now.
I picked
Yeah.
out everything in there. I like it.
I mean,
feel like it's
our
like being in my
entire
house.
audience better
Y'all better go.
be out
Better
there
go.
doing it.
Come
I
get
have a
your nails
question.
did.
So did you have some kind of special talent that you were training other people? Like what? There's nail salons everywhere.
I think that as you're teaching people, it makes you better at it.
Yeah.
And it makes you better at, every time you teach
true.
something, you get better at it yourself, and you get better at teaching it. And so, I mean, I would say the first couple of people, I was like, I don't know, bitch, file their nails. Polish, don't get it all over the place. I don't, but as I was, but as I was teaching it, kind of got better and better. And then we developed a whole apprenticeship program, where we,
Why wouldn't you?
well, why wouldn't you? Yeah. So over the years, now it's been 5 years that we've been open. We've developed, we've narrowed it down to a 12-week apprenticeship. So I like to get people right out of school, mostly because I don't
And
have
what
to.
school is that?
There's several schools in town that have just a nail program.
Okay.
There's Nova Academy, Atelier, School of Beauty in Hopkins. So there's a handful of schools. Petra V Pro, they also just have a nail program. But I like to get them right out of school, mostly because I don't have to unteach them things that they've learned. And I also, I don't have to fight maybe some ego that is there from years of like, oh, well, I know how to do it. And it's like, okay, sure.
Not well.
Right. Or it could be better.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes, when people have experience, there's kind of that they bristle at
Yeah.
the idea of someone instructing them. And
Right.
my entire goal is to make people better at their job. And so I can always feel right away like, oh, there's going to be a problem here if I swoop in and I'm like, hey, this manicure could have been better, and here's how. So I like getting people right out of school because they're willing to learn and they're
Right.
interested in learning. And they know that they can only go up from there.
I have so
So-
many questions about the schooling part of it, though.
Yeah.
Like, like how long do they spend in school to do this?
It's 350 hours just for nails. So if you're going full time, that's about 3 months or so.
Okay.
And a lot of schools have part-time programs where you can kind of come and go as you please. So
Make
it can
it a
take a little
6-month program
right.
or something?
Yep. So if you have a full-time job and you want to go, you can still go. And
is this mostly like training around how to not spread communicable diseases, or
Yes.
is this more training around how to do nails?
I would say honestly, it's more they teach you learn basically how to pass the state test.
Okay.
So you're learning about nail disorders. You're learning about you learn some about the sanitation protocols for the state and all of that. But the thing that I think is really missing from cosmetology and nail schools is the comprehensive hands-on, like how to actually get better at the skill. Because you basically, they'll say like, oh, you have to do 40 manicures before you can graduate. So you'll do a manicure and then they come over and just go, yep.
Looks good.
And that's it. But it could look like total garbage. And, you know, they're not saying like, oh, here's how you could have improved this.
Okay.
It's very like hands off, sort of, you're just kind of left to fend for yourself and, you know, learn sort of by trial and error, which, you know, so since I was doing nails for so long before, that's the experience that I had. I got out of nail school. I started working at a salon and it took me probably 7 years to get a really full clientele, because I didn't know what was good, what was bad. I had no one kind of guiding every single service that I was doing.
Right.
I didn't have anyone with eyes on what I was doing. And I was doing good services, but like
But you've gotten better since.
Certainly.
Yeah.
But it took me, you know, 7 years, and I'm working for someone else for 13 years before I had the courage to really go out on my own and do my own thing. And I can
How
say,
did you pack all this into 25 years of life?
what do you
And she has a 15-year-old.
I mean, you don't look old enough to have been.
Well, I drink the blood of my enemies.
Yeah,
so
okay,
then,
good.
well, so I was going to say I was working, you know, for someone for a long time before I felt just the confidence to go out on my own. And I can say really proudly that there are quite a few people around Minnesota now that have worked at Nail Ninja for a period of time, and within 2 to 3 years are going out and starting their own suites, and they have full books of clients and incredible skills. And I like to think that we had a hand in that.
Of course you did.
Yeah. So
And people expect it now, like your employees, I'm
Yes.
sure. You have a brand, you have some values, you
Yeah.
obviously have some system.
We have some techniques and
you
some
have
systems,
techniques and some
yes.
systems. And that's not true for almost any other nail
no,
salon.
I think sadly, and I think, you know, the nail industry is nails are like the redheaded stepchild of the beauty world. Like people are just like, yeah, I'm not going to pay all this money for nails, but I'll pay all this money for. But the thing is,
Really?
Yeah, I mean, people have they're like, oh, $80 for a manicure. I'm like, this took an hour and a half, and we use these products. And in my salon anyway, we use an autoclave to sterilize our tools.
Yeah.
So if you were getting open heart surgery, that's what they would sterilize those tools in. That's what we put our metal tools in. Like all these things cost money, they're expensive,
Yeah.
and everyone wants this like high-tech service, but they don't want to pay a high-tech price.
Right.
And I do feel like that's something that we've kind of changed in Minneapolis also, is like, no, this is, it comes at a cost, and you're paying for not only an incredible service, but you're paying for someone to have a livable wage. I give my employees health insurance and all of that. So it's like all of that comes from money. Like I didn't grow up with money. No one's coming to swoop in and save me. You know, none of
No.
my family has money. Like this, it all comes from the cost of the service. And so that's something that I feel, you know, really, I feel really good about.
This is like,
Yeah,
this is how you learn
Yeah.
about business.
Well, so it's funny because you've really created something. Like you, and maybe just because you did one foot in front of the other each time.
Yes.
But do you have a dream now?
You know, I feel like my dream has fluctuated quite a bit, and when I started Nail Ninja, like I said, I didn't even mean to really.
Right.
I was just like, okay, like
This is not uncommon.
yeah,
that
it's like people
end
just
up-
keep coming, so I guess I will make something for the people that keep coming. But I've kind of just been like, try it, shit. It's like snowballing,
It's
and
happening.
yeah, like so. I feel like my dream has sort of changed a little bit. So you were asking me before we started, do you have 2 stores? And I said, for now I do.
Right.
So at the end of this month, we're actually closing the St. Louis Park store and condensing everybody down into the Northeast store, which is twice the size.
Okay.
So St. Louis Park has 5 desks. Northeast has 12. Mm-hmm. So it's a lot of space. When I opened the second one, like I said, we had so much momentum and there was so many people just kept coming that I was like, oh, we need all of this space. And then, things have just happened over time where it's become more about business administration than it really can be about me spending one-on-one time with them and training them effectively.
Totally.
And so, our lease was up in St. Louis Park in August, and I was kind of just like wringing my hands, like, oh, what do I want to do? Because I don't want to feel like I gave up on it or something.
Right.
Like I said, I don't really have like a quit gene. It just doesn't.
Right.
It doesn't compute. Like I'm like, no, I just can't. But when I really thought about it, it was like, am I having a good time with 2 stores? Like, I'm running back and forth all the time, like putting out fires, having to do all of this administration and training people and being able to focus on that, which is what it started as in the first place, kind of had fallen by the wayside. And so once the lease was up, I was like, you know what? I feel like there were a lot of things happening at the time that were sort of showing me like I've gotten it off track a little bit. And so this is kind of an amazing opportunity to just put it back where I meant it to go.
Exactly.
You were talking at one point about opening more stores, right?
Yeah, I think, at some point...
Have you given up on that?
No, I don't think I've given up on that. I've kind of said that if I want multiple stores that I would like them to be in other states.
Yeah.
And, I would love to maybe see Nail Ninja as like a high-end franchise of where I can sell this idea of like, here's exactly how you train every single person from top to bottom. Here's how you train front desk. Here's how you train administrators, all of that, to where maybe I can just sit back at that point and say like, all right, I've got,
I love that.
That's kind of the long-term goal, for me right now. I'm just like, I'm looking forward to getting everyone in one space so that I can get my hands around it, really perfect those models that I already have set up, and actually go back to doing what I like to do, which is just doing nails and teaching other people how to do nails effectively. And
this is what happens when people are good at something and then they start a business and then they don't get to do the thing that they're very good at anymore.
Yes.
Because now you're running a business, which you're also good at, evidently. Good enough, right?
I'm good enough at it, yeah. And I have a lot of good people around me that I've acquired along the way that, but there's a lot of moving parts to it, and I don't like that. Like I don't get any joy out of the business administration part of it. I get joy out of helping people to improve, and it's hard to help people improve when you're like, oh, I gotta go do payroll.
This is why we hire people to do that stuff.
I mean, I've hired people here and there, and I kind of have had some of those instances where it's like you want to delegate things, but no one does it the same way you do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's really hard. That's really hard for me because when you're like, I'm like, oh, I'm good at it. Why can't you just figure this out?
Right.
Just file your fucking nails. But like that, but with payroll, just do the fucking payroll. Stop messing things up for me.
The hours are there.
Yeah.
All the information is
There's
there.
a literal printout in front of your face. And for some reason...
But maybe they'll take a little time.
No.
Maybe they'll do it a little better.
Yeah, maybe. But so it's ebbed and flowed in terms of like things where I'm trying to like get the help.
Yeah.
But like I said, right now I'm just kind of like, I feel so much relief at the idea of just like, I'm going to have everyone under one roof, and I can, like I said, really perfect all those systems that I've been building for the last 5 years. Like that's
your bread and butter. It is.
You expand, you contract, you expand, you contract. It's just part of it.
I mean, back when I had my construction company, every bit of growth that it ever had, I never made more money.
No.
It was always just way more stress.
Yes.
And I'm like, well, this is weird.
That's
the
the
more
thing,
I
too.
do, the less I make, kind of,
and
and the more
the less
stressful it
I
is.
make and the more stress I've incurred on myself. Yeah, it's like I had a client one time before I opened St. Louis Park. She's like, are you going to open a store? Because I had all these people like in 100 square feet were like next to each other. Like, and she's like, are you going to open a store? And I was like, yeah. And she goes, don't do it.
Oh, really?
And I was like, what? First of all, Debbie Downer, like chill out. And she goes, keep it small, keep it all. And I was like, well,
Oh, that bitch.
yeah, what a
Damn it, she's right.
She was right. Yeah, like I definitely, and I tell people this all the time because I mean, we pay them the very most that we can, and we give them health insurance, and we do, we do all these things, and people are like, oh, you must be doing so well. I'm like, I still do nails full time and manage the business. Like,
Right.
yeah, I don't make any money from the shop because I like to do as much for them as I possibly can.
Yeah.
So then it becomes of like, okay, well, if I'm not going to make a lot of additional money from this, then where is the joy in it?
Yeah, why am I doing this and
Right.
killing myself over this if I'm
Right.
not making...
And
I mean,
so
there's
it's
got
like,
to be
what's the
some
point
payout.
of me having 2 stores if I'm, number one, not making money, and 2, running
Not happy.
myself ragged? Yeah.
Franchising.
And
Franchising sounds like, oh, you think you want a problem? Sure, I've created this
I
whole
have
thing
this
that's
format for you to have a problem. There you go. You can take my name
Take
and
my
brilliant.
system
Oh, wow.
and have it
And
be
you have
your
to
problem.
pay for this problem.
Yeah.
Super cool.
So if anyone wants to help me start up a Nail Ninja franchise,
I think there's
hit me
people out
up.
there.
Hit me
There is
up.
definitely people out there.
It's a great. I mean, like I've been working on this system for so long, and had some people helping me with just like a general layout of here's the process for every single thing that
Well,
you need
you've
to
created at least enough. I don't know
Oh,
how
there's
you
enough.
I don't know how you feel about this, but you've created a little bit of celebrity around yourself too.
do. I don't know. If that's
Little tiny bit, right?
true. Is that true? I don't.
A little bit.
Okay. Well, that's cool.
Yeah. I mean, I think that helps with the shop though, right? I mean, if you're going to franchise it, the name's good.
The name's great.
You're
It's very
out there as someone, you're not, I don't know how you feel about that. I'm not trying to put it, you like, I don't want to make you uncomfortable, but
I'm
you got
not
a little bit
uncomfortable.
of a celebrity feel in
Cool.
nails, I would say.
Yeah.
Nail celebrity.
You dress it, you look it, you do it.
Hair
you live
toss.
it.
But there's also, I mean, yeah, you do that, but you also have something to back it up. You
Yeah.
have this incredible system and incredibly happy and loyal clients.
Absolutely.
So it's,
Very
It
lucky.
seems like something someone
it's
would
like
want
you
to buy
have the
into.
whole package.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I think that I can definitely see it. I think that the market at this point in Minneapolis is a little oversaturated, which to me is where I'm like, I would love to see it in other states.
Yeah.
And there really isn't any other place in the country like Nail Ninja that exists
I
where
believe it.
there's a comprehensive training program, and then we do like a tiered system for the artists, so after you get out of the apprenticeship, you're on a tier 1, and then as your skills improve and your client retention improves, you move up, you get paid a little bit more.
Are you in Savannah going to go check it out?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to go check it out.
Are you going to come back with
It's
big
really
nails?
bad.
These are my nails. These
I
are not
have,
even. These
I have
are
a
my
hard time with
actual
long
nails.
nails, so I
You
need
have to grow into it. Like you
Yeah.
have to like start with nubbins and then.
I
kinda
need some
grow.
nubbins. I
Yeah.
need some pretty nubbins.
Yes.
That's what I need.
Yeah. We'll,
I
Get a
think
call.
we'll get you your pretty booty diggers, as I call them.
Booty dig.
Booty
Booty
diggers?
diggers. Yeah, nice and short.
Okay.
You do some damage.
Took
with
me a
these.
minute, you
Booty
know.
diggers. Yeah.
Those are your real nails.
These are my real nails. Yeah.
You know, that's funny. I was looking at your nails, and a lot of times when I go get my nails done, the person doing my nails, their nails are completely screwed up.
Yeah. Just trashed.
It just trash because
Yeah.
you're doing this all day. So
I wear gloves.
do you wear gloves?
And I'm kind of a dainty princess with my hands too. Like I also lift
Just with your hands,
just
though.
with my hands, not
Yeah.
with my mouth.
Not otherwise a dainty
it's like
princess, but
Yes.
overcompensating
Yes.
for the other. Yeah, I get it.
Dainty. Mean. Yeah, so I have like a structured gel on my nails. So then
Okay.
as they get longer, you just add a little bit more structure. So most people start out with tiny
Nubbins.
short little nubbins,
I
and
got
then
some
they grow them
nubbins.
out.
when you go places and you're just hanging out and someone does something, like, do you look at their hands and you're like, oh,
No.
fucking fucked up nails?
Very rarely do I actually see someone's nails because, to be honest, unless they're paying me, I don't care.
Okay.
I mean, what am I going to do? Be in public and be like, "Excuse me, here's my card."
Wow.
You could use.
Maybe.
No,
You know,
I occasionally I'll notice like heels. Like if someone's wearing sandals and their heels are like really cracked, occasionally I'll notice that. But honestly, I just really don't. I don't notice that too much.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I having been in construction, I look at architecture and
Oh,
stuff
for
all
sure.
the time.
You're like, oh, well, that's messed up.
Yeah. But just
Terrible
curious.
tiling happening here.
Yeah, all that.
This tile.
Oh,
Here's my
disgusting.
card. Here's my
You
card.
people could have done better. Throw him a card.
Oh my gosh. So you as a person, you have one child?
I have one child.
Let's. What should we do? This. Should we take a little break
Okay.
midway?
And then we'll come back and we'll talk.
We'll
Just
be all
about normal
pepped
shit.
up.
We'll talk about all our
Second.
jail time.
That we're.
Who has jail time?
I've never
Is
been in
this
jail. I don't even. I
previous or
kind of wish I
pending?
had at some point.
It's pretty wild.
I really deserved it at some time.
I deserved more.
I have no doubt.
deserved definitely. In fact, I was just hanging out with my stepdad the other day. We went on a trip to Arkansas, which like I would never live in Arkansas, but it was nice to go because it's like it was just silent. All I could hear was like water and bugs. And he's like he was like bringing up stories about me from as like a teenager, and there was like a long pause, and he goes, "I'm really surprised you didn't end up in prison." I was like, "Okay, great.
Yeah.
Now I run a business. Could have been in prison. I could have had a prison business.
You could,
Oh, I'm sure you
it'd be
could.
a good
You would have
business
killed
in
it.
prison,
I would have
too.
cleaned up
You
in
would
prison.
have killed it. In
I would have
prison.
been fine.
Yeah.
You would have killed it in prison.
Still could. The day is
Yeah, I
young.
mean, there's time. There's
One
The
never
day is
knows.
young, you know, you never know.
I don't. The older I get, the more it's like, oh, I just don't think I could handle another atmosphere like in prison.
I think I could. I
Oh,
think
there's
it'd
a
be
part of
fine.
me that's like,
Yeah,
please, can I just spend like a couple of years?
Listen, like,
You can't-
I
I don't
always
have to
say,
do anything.
I always say it's going to take the wrong bitch on the right day, and I'm going to be in county. Like, 3 hots and a cot sounds like vacation to me, baby. Let's go. I'll fight you right here and now.
I feel kind of the same, but not with that same attitude.
You should put some
I'm
stank
just like,
on it.
I need a nap.
Listen, bitch, I'll fight.
I need like a year-long nap in
Yeah,
prison.
and like
it
you,
probably
then
wouldn't
you
be
would just have a
comfortable nap, though.
regimented. Like you wake up at 5 a.m., you exercise, you eat breakfast, you read a book, you exercise some more. This sounds great. I don't know what the problem is.
No wonder everybody's
sure
all
You don't
upset.
pay taxes.
I'm sure it's terrible. I'm sure it's awful. And
You
here
have
we are.
to just consume taxes.
Yes, you're just
That's all you're
consuming.
doing.
Well, I mean, you do have to pay. You have to pay for your stay. You know, they charge you. You when you get
Yeah.
out, they're like, that'll be X amount of dollars. You're like,
Seriously?
yeah,
Really?
yes.
Well, way to burden them even more. Now they've been out of society for
like,
a
"I
number
can't
of
get a
years.
job."
Can't get a job.
Thanks to
Now
you.
I
can't get
owe
hired
you money.
anywhere.
Thanks to you fuckers, I can't get a job.
Can't even vote, for God's sake.
You can't vote. Can't get a
Or-
job.
Can't
get
vote,
hired
and now I
anywhere.
owe you a ton of change.
Great.
I mean, I don't think it's a tremendous amount. I guess it depends on how long you spend.
Yeah.
There, but.
Way to go, America.
Yeah,
Okay, so
thanks,
if we-
Obama.
If we're going to talk about thanks, Obama.
Fucked it all up.
It's never been the same.
Damn it.
I forgot that one.
Thanks, Obama. I still use it, and people don't get it, and
Oh,
especially
God,
in
that
Minnesota,
is
because they're like,
hilarious.
"Obama's a saint." And you're like, "Okay,
That-
that's a joke, but okay."
don't mess
He's
with
not-
politics.
I do.
That's-
I
That's
love
going
to.
to be the argument.
She's-
I love to dip my toe in. Like, let's
Look at what I'm going to say.
Just tickle the button.
I,
Just
do, I,
tickle
lo-
the button
I
a
love
little.
it. I'd wind them up and watch them go, dude. People are so easily riled up. Like the other day, one of my clients came in
Holy
and she's like,
shit.
and another thing about Kamala. And I held a hand up. I was like, you guys don't stand for anything, do you? Because 4 years ago, it was like, oh, fuck the police. Now I'm going to hire a district attorney and some guy who locked up everyone and kept them past their incarceration dates. And she was like, oh, yeah. This awkward silence.
You went deep.
I did, and then here I am, just like she's like, yeah, and I'm like, what color do you
just
want?
file
I'm doing your nails. And I'm doing your nails.
You don't do your own damn nails. I'm out of here. No, I love to throw out little like baiting questions, baiting comments, just to see,
Just to see.
just to dip.
Yeah.
Just
a little.
the toe
yeah,
in.
maybe the second half.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll get into that.
I like to bait them both ways.
We can go
right?
back into conspiracy. Yes, I do. I
totally both ways.
bait
So
it
they're
all
like,
the time.
Wait, I thought you were a.
Yeah, they never know. They never know.
Oh, the hypocritical nature of political.
It's all so silly.
It is.
None of them like you. They're not on your side. None of them care.
Nobody cares.
You guys still think your vote
Listen,
matters. It's so cute.
They're not
Well,
going to do
people-
anything that they said they were going to
no,
do. They actually don't have the power to do it.
Every 4 years, I'm like, you guys haven't figured out that like the rich guys behind the scenes are the ones doing everything. And
Exactly.
the guy who delivers the speech, yeah, let's vote. Are we gonna burn it down? Like, what's the problem? What's happening?
Well,
Are we gonna riot? Yeah.
there
what's
was some
happening?
kind of burning down.
It didn't go
situation.
far
Okay,
enough.
so all right, let's take a break.
Sam's just
Come
awkward
back.
laughing.
No, I think it's awesome. I knew this would be fun.
Let's take a break.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
We'll come back with some more funs. Don't cry. It's over.
Oh, you did it. You made it to the very end of the show. You know what you can do to help us? What can they do to help us? They can tell their friends how awesome this show is.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
You know what else? And I don't know if people know this or don't know this, but like if you found us and you see us on socials somewhere, just hit repost or share it with your community.
Share, repost, follow. Isn't there a follow option?
Yeah,
of some
follow,
kind?
subscribe. We're not going to charge you anything.
No.
Just hit the subscribe button.
No,
It's
we
not gonna
just
hurt
need
you.
to create a community around entrepreneurism and how the real shit happens.
I like it. Well, because we're real. You said it in the intro.
Real.
We talk real. No, seriously, tell your friends. What a great show. Oh my gosh, these people are doing the best work ever. Yeah, right?
That's what you should say.
Yeah.
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 And just come back. Have fun with us. We love this.
We'll have someone, we'll interview someone cool next week too.
Someone completely different.
Yeah, from prison. Thanks.
We always have to have that.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for listening.